What's going on, world? Friends, friends, and family. The fuckery is still afoot. As you may well know, there's just been another U.S. citizen murdered by the incel Gestapo, better known as ICE, or fucking Cheeto Pennywise's foot soldiers in Minnesota. Shot by varying accounts at least 4 times at point blank range, right? On video, in broad daylight. The victim has already been identified as a 37-year-old U.S. citizen, killed by Immigrations and Customs Enforcement. Think about that shit. So not only do they feel empowered to go wherever they want, including into your homes without a warrant, but they feel empowered to execute citizens in broad daylight on camera and then want to proceed to say, no, he had a gun. I felt threatened. This man was outnumbered like, 6-1? And these punk ass bitches felt compelled to damn near unload a clip in this cat? Nah, shit doesn't fly. But see, it's clear on some level that this is meant to send a message. They saw the overwhelming show of solidarity and support yesterday in Minnesota and said, we gonna teach them. Well, let me learn them something real quick. And please, at this point, feel free to pass this along to anybody you know who might still be drinking the MAGA Kool-Aid, right? Who's still got a big-ass glass of Brondo here at Idiocracy. But here are the facts. What we're seeing is a continual erosion of our basic civil rights and human liberties. That is fascism in real time. And by their accounts, the more they erode these freedoms, these rights, they would argue that they're winning. I would say that they're loading the gun against themselves. Because let's be real, right? Part of the reason why things have remained as civil and peaceful as they have been is because on some level, we still feel like we do have something left to lose. We don't want to sacrifice that last bit of our humanity, something that distances us from the heinous things these motherfuckers are doing. However, one of the truisms that has been spouted time and again, my favorite version comes from Fight Club, right? Is basically, it is only when you've lost everything that you are free to do anything. That anything in a brighter, happier time means I'm gonna fuck off and go be a poet and paint trees, which would be lovely. You know, that anything in a perfect world is me focusing on making cooking videos, which I really love doing. I'm a badass cook, y'all. Would be more doing something like that as opposed to what they are doing right now, which is simply, if we don't fear the loss of our freedom, if you are trying to murder our hope, if you feel empowered to execute us at will on a whim, then there's very little for us left to lose. That nothing left to lose means shit gets real ugly real fast, because the other side of that beautiful gathering of solidarity in Minnesota is that if for some reason that was to turn violent, they didn't stand a fucking chance. Literally, there were enough Minnesotans there to rip every single ICE agent apart, limb from limb, with their bare fucking hands. And honestly, I'd kind of like to see that Viking side come out. I'm not encouraging it, but at this point, I think most sane Americans, like most sane people in the world, are fed the fuck up. The fact of the matter is this: the people aren't going to stand watching our neighbors and friends, and hell, the people who just came here for a better life get murdered because you're on some power trip, because cruelty is your kink, because your mother didn't love you enough, and frankly, she shouldn't have. The love she gave you was too much at this point, given the lack of contributions to humanity. This cult, these are the only people I can say are an actual net loss towards our overall humanity. But we are still better. We will rise above. We can rise above, in honor and memory of Renee Good and Keith Porter, while we still believe the survivors and stand with Minnesota. But y'all, even though we got hope, it doesn't mean we can get lazy. It is now more than ever time to rise the fuck up.